Okay, so if you were to tell someone who was on the edge, what would you tell them to, and they said, well, should I do this or not?
Absolutely. It's been worth every single penny of the money, because I earned the money back that I put into your program in the first week.
So there you go.
Well, in August, we had a 25K month because we did the Art 360 program, which is part of the funnel.
So today we have Leslie. Give her a hand. So very excited because I think you've got an amazing offer. So where were you before joining us to where are you now?
My biggest problem, because obviously I've got all of that assets, was belief, really. Belief in myself. And it's absolutely ridiculous because I've got all that experience and I've got the education. So I'm an NLP trained coach. I do my monthly, going and doing my refresher with my mentor. I've got a master's degree. I've got 10 years of working in brand marketing at Coca-Cola. I've got another 5 years as a risk analyst. I know
sometimes,
I'm 100. I'm actually 105.
Sometimes we get this a lot. So actually having loads of qualifications is not necessarily a guarantee to deliver you the end result. So what we find with that is that, did you find that then the specific processes of acquiring a client, selling processes were enabling you to believe more in yourself?
It was the belief in this, and I had a belief in the new program, the new Art 360 that we were doing. It was the program. It was like, what makes
the program design or
no, is it good enough? I had a real issue around, who am I to be delivering a program at $2,000, a person?
So price points.
Price point, absolutely. So it was all around believing in myself. I knew I had the assets, I just didn't have the belief. And also, the other thing that you doing, the reason I did the program was to get some focus for myself, because I saw with my clients, as they started going through the program, they became really focused when they were doing my program. I was like, that's what I need, because I am a terrible one for saying yes to everything. I'm a real innovator, so I'll come up with a million ideas a day, and then I've just got to tell myself, don't do that. Stop it. Stop that now. So having to go on and do all of those, working through week by week, really helped me. That helped me.
You're saying combination of focus down on one thing, because again, like, as I said, like most people think entrepreneurship is this, like, where you have to do hundreds of different things, where actually you can actually make a lot more money when you focus down on one core thing. You free up overwhelm. You focus down on one thing. You're like, people think by creating more enables them to have the belief that they can do it, whereas actually that's not true, because you never validate. And if you don't validate and you never get sales at the price point that you also want, then you don't believe also that you want. So that makes sense. So going through the process, focus one thing, that's something we do here a lot. So where are you at revenue right now?
So I started off selling the program, which is insanity, at like 300 quid, which was crazy days. I know that. But I didn't have the belief in myself. I know, look at your face.
That's also very true. Like again, people, until you go through a structure, till you go through a proven method, like right now, 2 years after COVID, give or take, like underpricing, like that 300 to 900 price point is the worst price point.
Yeah, I know.
Because literally that's where everyone is. Do you know what I mean? It's like when the majority are in 97s, in 197s, 297, 397s, and the majority have bought, like today's clients have bought a shit program already and not used it. And so it's actually like completely changing the game, going price point higher, but giving the support. So it's not only just like, hey, look, this is not just charge more because you want more. This is, I'm going to deliver more for you.
Exactly. So that's what I did. As soon as I came on your program, I wanted to see how someone who is an expert in selling. So I would do this. That's why I came on the program. I wanted the focus and I wanted to get the belief in myself. So I had to
Nice.
invest in myself. And I know all these things because this is what I say to my clients. Stupid, you know, why have I paid you? Because I know I say it all to my clients, but hey, you help me, so that, you know,
No, but that's the
massive
same as
credit.
me now as well. Like, you know, don't think this is not something that I do as well. But that's the majority of people don't do that, Leslie. They say it but don't do it. Like, I invested 100K into a mastermind. And what I got from that is relationships. I'm not learning anything else. You know, like, there's
Yeah,
nothing else
absolutely.
really, you know, at that level to learn more, but it's a different level of relationship building. So, and you have to keep on, you know, I still invest 50, 60K per month in my team.
Yeah.
You know, could I train them up? Yeah, of course, but I'll get someone else to do it. So I don't have to do it.
But also
And
you're getting extra assets there of other people's experience, aren't you, into your
100%.
team?
And it's one of those things where, as you start to get older and more mature, you start to realize the distinctions within the distinctions. You can't be, you know, like, you can't do everything. You can't be everything. And when you drill, like, for example, I can do technology. It's easy. However, it's better that someone else provides that for our clients, because, you know, I'm a very overview of technology in terms of, like, don't worry about the details, because you don't need, just press the button and it'll figure it out, right? And can I do that? Of course I can. But today it's actually much easier to get someone that's 24/7 in it all the time, live and breathe it, and they love it. And I you know, the business owner is strategic. That's the point. You know, like, if I, you know, one of the biggest things for me to let go of was our Facebook ads and our ad, you know, management, because that's where, you know, that's where you need to get your message dialed in. That's where my specialty comes in. And so as when I set that back and start to see it more strategically, it's amazing. And so, yeah, like, this is a concept that, you know, most people get it, they've heard it, right? Invest in yourself, but they don't continue to do it. And as your business grows, you start like, there was definitely a stagnant period in my life where we weren't growing, and it's because I wasn't investing into the right skill set.
No,
So,
I definitely feel that, because I know I have an immense skill base, but I just needed some extra kind of moral support, I suppose is the word I'd say, describe it as. You know, you mentioned the Facebook ads. You know, I employed some people, extra people, to help me, because I'm a great one for outsourcing. You know, I can't do everything, as you just said, strategic outsourcing. And we have in place, you know, as I went through your program, I'm like, we've got all this in place. As I said to you on the, you know, when I was like, well, we've already got OptinMonster, we've already got MailChimp with the customer journey. All of this stuff is already there. I just didn't have the belief in my focus. And so as soon as I started the program, I put the price up to 2,150.
So you went from 300 to 2,000.
150.
But that is a byproduct of realizing your value more, because you paid high.
It's easier to sell now, which is bonkers.
So I totally get that.
I targeted myself to sell. In the first month, I thought, right, I'm going to sell 2 programs a month on the book a call system that you advocate. Yeah. And I've got hundreds of people in my pipeline. I don't need Facebook ads to get people in the pipeline. I got 100 people in the pipeline to sell to. I just wasn't doing it. Nice. So I know the situation. So I just put the price up immediately. And I was like, target yourself, Leslie, 2 a month. So 2 a month in September, 2 a month in October, sell a website, sell a couple of memberships, because we have a membership as part of the funnel. I then put the memberships up. So the membership became 300 quid. So I was like, you have to have something in the funnel that's lower to get the lower people in.
Upsell, downsell.
Exactly. So I put the membership prices up. No one has queried that. And I found a system of auto renewal called Go Cardless.
Nice.
So that really helped me, because I was like, I have to keep reminding people, you know, your membership's up. So Go Cardless does that for you. So I don't have to do it. They set up their automatic year payment, and it just happens like a gym membership. So I found that by being focused. And so I thought, right, I need to sell like 4 memberships, 2 programs, a website, and then do my normal one-to-one stuff. And I'm at the 10K. So September, okay. October, okay. November, I've sold 4 memberships and 2 programs in the first week. So I'm like, okay, Leslie, you need to do 2 a week now.
Yeah,
Stop
nice.
being a wuss.
So where you at? So what was your biggest month so far?
Well, in August, we had a 25k month because we did the Art 360 program, which is part of the funnel. We were just pretty much in the southeast of England before COVID. Now we have clients. So the members this week who have joined, Slovenia, Finland, Canada, yeah, they're all over the world, which is exactly what I wanted. I wanted to go out globally.
Was there any reservations about joining us?
No.
No reservation.
No, none at all. I had
no doubt.
No, I'd been listening
Amazing.
to you and Rob and Shah talking on Clubhouse right through the pandemic. I was pretty addicted to coming in the rooms where you were and listening to the 3 of you and John, and I really loved the way you chatted. And I interviewed Rob because he was an artist so I interviewed him quite early on in the pandemic as part of my live interviews. And I spoke to Shah about a book, which is still in my plan to do a book, but one thing at a time, do it properly. So I decided to nail down on the program first before I moved on to the book. So I was learning. I took on the whole thing about outsourcing. So I was listening to you guys and I was implementing some of the things that you were saying. So I think you were on a Clubhouse and you said, if you want to call with me, DM me. And I was like, and this was probably in like July. And I was, so a year into me doing it. And I was like, yeah, right, now's the time. I'm going to have a chat with him and see what the next steps are. Anyway, I didn't get you. I got one of your team, which was fine. And I said, and they
with me.
You did say it was with you.
No.
And
you have to listen carefully.
So I then, but I learned from that because I was like, oh, that's a trick. I can do that.
It's not a trick. It's
not a trick, but it's a device.
Hear what they want to say.
It's a device.
I genuinely, I promise you, I never say it's with me, ever. But some people do.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
People want that, and so therefore, like, it's not. I always say my team will take you through. Anyway,
yeah,
it is.
Yeah, what it is. Whatever. It didn't make any difference because I spoke to one of your team, Laura, and she was absolutely amazing. We had a good chat, and I was like, I really want to do it. And she went, right, you get the program for 12 months. This is where there was a slight So you get the program for 12 months, and I was like, oh, okay, that's great. But now is July, and I'm just about to take my 3 kids on holiday, so I don't want to waste 2 months of the program with me being on holiday because I know I'm not even going to touch it. So call me in September, on September the 1st, and I will pay you and I will start the program. She was like, okay. So she called me on September the 1st, I paid you, and I started the program.
That's amazing. Well, yeah, I mean, Leslie, I mean, you are someone that says what you're going to do and you do what you're going to say, and how you buy is how you sell, how you sell is how you buy. And so well done for that. What do you think has been the best support? Sometimes we get the live consultation clinic, sometimes we get the tech, sometimes we get the support in terms of the messaging, in terms of the messaging system, so you get your answers. Sometimes it's the closer process. If you were to pick one thing about the support, what would that be?
I really like the Facebook group because I really like to go in there and read what other people are doing.
Really?
So I go in and I spend some time reading and looking at their HVGs and seeing what they're doing. I find that really interesting.
That's so interesting. A lot of people say that. I'm like,
and listening to their issues and thinking, how can that help me solve an issue? So the group brain, I like the group brain.
I like that.
Yeah, I like the group brain bit about it. I really like that. I like the fact that when you go back into the program, it takes you straight to where you were, where you left. So I don't have to try and work out where I was. And I can watch the videos as I go. And I've done week 1, week 2, and I'm now in the middle of week 3.
Okay, so if you were to tell someone who was on the edge, what would you tell them to, and they said, well, should I do this or not?
Absolutely. It's been worth every single penny. of the money, because I earned the money back that I put into your program in the first week.
So there you go.
I literally earned the money back in the first week by increasing the price and then having the belief system in selling it. So I didn't, if I hadn't have done your program, I would still been there struggling, going, yeah, buy my program for 300 quid.
See, that's the thing though, isn't it? So like, even though you had all the skills, you had, like, as you said, a lot of the stuff set up, which a lot of people do today, right?
Yeah.
That's like, a lot of people know, like, okay, I know I need an ad. I know I need a webinar, right? I know I need to, get people on the phone. The next stage of which you're going to do is going to transform it, because you need to train someone else up, right? Which is a completely different process.
Yeah.
Like, people go and they, oh yeah, Ed, I know the framework of how to close a call. The framework of training someone else to become a clone of you is a completely different, that's in of itself a completely different challenge. And then the entrepreneur goes, well, I can do it, so they can't do it as well as me. And then they get stuck in that. And when they get stuck in that, you can never scale.
Yeah.
So look, you're a prime example of someone who's got amazing skill set, but yet still missing just slightly something. And so they're therefore, brings it all together. And look, I really appreciate you being here. And I think you've got an amazing niche, that, a lot of people wouldn't be able to make happen. And so I'm really glad that you got your investment back in the first week.
First week.
You're hitting the highest 25K so far. I think it won't be long till you hit your 100K. We just need to figure out scaling on the next parts, right? So look, I really appreciate you. Let's get down to your next steps now then.
Yeah.